What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter, Ph.D. Introduction. Imagine for a moment that from the day you were born until your 18th birthday, you were told no, or what you could not do, more than 148,000 times. Let that sink in. That's over 22 negative messages every single day. No, don't touch that. You can't do that. That's not for you. Be realistic. These messages came from loving parents, well-meaning teachers, and friends who were just passing on what they'd been told. They weren't trying to hold you back. They were trying to protect you. But in doing so, they installed a program, deep within your mind, a program that runs silently, automatically, every single day of your life. A program that, for most of us, is wired for failure. Now, what if I told you that this invisible programming is the single greatest reason why you succeed or fail? Why you feel happy or sad? Why you chase your dreams or let them fade away? It's not about luck. It's not about fate. And it's not even about how hard you try. It's about the silent conversation you're having with yourself, every second of every day. For decades, we've been told to think positively, but for many, that feels like trying to paint a smiley face on a crumbling wall. The motivation fades, and we slide back into our old habits. Why? Because we were never given the instruction manual for our own minds. Today, we're opening that manual. We're diving into a book that has quietly transformed lives in over 70 countries, a book written by a pioneer named Drive. Shad Helmstetter, who saw, long before it was popular, the undeniable connection between our thoughts and the physical wiring of our brains. This isn't just about positive thinking. This is about understanding the science of your own mind. By the end of our time together, I promise you this, you will understand the single most powerful force that has been shaping your reality, and more importantly, you will learn how to finally take the controls. You will learn what to say when you talk to yourself. Book summary. Have you ever had a big dream? A goal that set your heart on fire? Maybe you wanted to be an artist, an athlete, a leader. You felt that surge of excitement. You read a book or went to a seminar, and for a week, you were unstoppable. You were going to change your life. And then, you didn't. The fire fizzled out. The motivation vanished. The book ended up on a dusty shelf, and life went back to the way it was. Why does this happen to almost everyone? Are we just lazy? Do we lack willpower? The author of this book, Drive, Helmstetter, says no. The problem isn't you. The problem is your programming. Imagine you're about to board a state-of-the-art airplane for a dream vacation. Just as you're walking down the jet bridge, you overhear the pilot telling the co-pilot, there's just one small issue. The onboard computer, the one that flies the plane, is programmed with 75% wrong directions. What would you do? You'd get off that plane as fast as you could. You know it could only end in one of two ways. It would crash, or it would land in the wrong place entirely. Now, here is the startling truth. Most of us are walking through life in exactly that airplane. Researchers have found that as much as 77% of the average person's self-talk is negative and counterproductive. It works against us. Our own internal guidance system has been programmed, from those 148,000 no's and more, to fly us in the wrong direction. This is the invisible wall that stands between us and our potential. It's not out there in the world. It's inside our own minds. So, how does this programming actually work? Drive. Helmstetter explains it with a simple, powerful analogy. Your brain is the most sophisticated biochemical computer on the planet. And like any computer, it has hardware and software. The hardware is the physical brain itself. The software is your thoughts. Every single thought you think, whether you're aware of it or not, is a command you are giving to your computer. And here's the most important rule of all. Your brain simply believes what you tell it most. It doesn't judge whether a thought is true or false, good or bad. It just accepts the programming and gets to work creating a reality that matches it. It has no choice. The author shares a personal story about this. As a young boy, he dreamed of playing a musical instrument in the school band. He tried out, and later he overheard the band director tell his teacher that not only could he not be in the band, but that he had no musical ability and would never be able to play an instrument. That was the program. He heard it, he believed it, and for 20 years, it became his truth. He never even tried. It wasn't until much later in life that he gathered the courage to secretly try playing a piano, and discovered that the band director had been wrong all along. But the program had cost him decades of potential joy. On the flip side, he tells the story of a man named Mike Vance. When Mike was a little boy, he overheard a neighbor telling his mother, "That Michael is very creative. He's going to grow up to do creative things." Mike heard that one small program, and he believed it. That belief shaped his entire life. He went on to become the dean of Walt Disney University and one of the world's top trainers in creativity. One negative program, one positive program. Both had the power to shape a destiny. This process follows a clear, 5-step sequence that the book calls the self-management sequence. It's the chain of command inside your mind, and it works like this. Step 1 is programming. This is everything you've ever heard, been told, or told yourself. It's the software. This programming creates your beliefs. What you believe doesn't have to be true, you just have to believe that it's true. If you've been programmed to believe you're not good with money, that becomes your reality. Your beliefs then shape your attitudes. Your attitude is the lens through which you see the world. It's your perspective on everything. Your attitudes create your feelings. If you have a bad attitude about your job, you will feel bad about going to work. And finally, your feelings determine your actions, or your behavior. If you feel bad about work, you'll probably procrastinate, do the bare minimum, and your performance will suffer. And your actions create your results. The success or failure you experience in your life. Programming creates beliefs. Beliefs create attitudes. Attitudes create feelings. Feelings determine actions. And actions create your results. It all starts with the programming. If you want to change your life, you can't just start by trying to change your actions. That's like trying to force a computer to run a new video game with old, outdated software. It will glitch, it will lag, and eventually, it will crash. To change your results, you have to go back to the very beginning. You have to change the programming. But how? This is where so many of us get stuck. We recognize our negative thoughts, and we try to stop them. We tell ourselves, "Okay, from now on, I'm going to be a positive thinker." Drive. Helmstetter explains why this so often fails with another brilliant analogy, the mental apartment. Imagine that your mind is an apartment, and all of your thoughts are the furniture inside it. For most of us, this furniture is old, broken, and handed down from others. The sofa of self-doubt is sagging. The chair of procrastination is wobbly. The pictures of past failures hang crookedly on the walls. Now, you decide you want to be positive. So you spend a day hauling all of that old, negative furniture out and storing it in the garage. Your mental apartment is now completely empty. It feels clean, spacious, and full of potential. You think, "Great, I've gotten rid of all my old negative thinking." But you have no new furniture to replace it with. What do you think happens after a few hours in an empty apartment? You start to feel uncomfortable. You'll go out to the garage and bring back a chair. Just one won't hurt. A little later, you bring in a table. Then the old familiar sofa. Before you know it, all the old broken furniture is right back where it started. You might rearrange it to look different, but it's the same old programming. You cannot just get rid of negative thoughts. You must consciously and deliberately replace them with new, strong, positive thoughts. You have to buy new furniture. And that new furniture is called self-talk. Self-talk isn't just thinking happy thoughts. It's a specific, structured way of giving your brain new commands. It's a new language. And just like any language, it has different levels of fluency. Drive. Helmstetter breaks it down into 5 distinct levels, and understanding them is the key to everything. Level 1 is the level of negative acceptance. This is the most harmful, and sadly, the most common level of self-talk. It's characterized by the words, I can't remember names. I can't seem to lose weight. I'm just not a creative person. Today is going to be another one of those days. When you use level 1 self-talk, you are stating a negative reality and accepting it as fact. You are programming your onboard computer to fail, and it will obediently follow your command. This is the language of self-defeat. Level 2 is the level of recognition. This one is tricky because it sounds like it should be good for you, but it's not. This is the language of I should or I need to. I really should get more organized. I need to stop procrastinating. I've got to start exercising. What are you really telling your brain when you say this? You're saying, I should get organized, but I'm not. You're recognizing a problem, but you're programming the reality that you aren't solving it. Level 2 self-talk doesn't create change, it creates guilt. Now we move to the levels that actually work for you. Level 3 is the level of decision to change. This is the first step toward real transformation. Here, you stop talking about what you should do, and you make a decision to leave the negative behind. The key phrases are I no longer or I never. Instead of I can't control my temper, you say, I no longer let my emotions control me. Instead of I eat too much junk food, you say, I never eat more than I know is good for me. You are speaking in the present tense, as if the change has already happened. You're telling your subconscious mind that this is the new reality. It's a powerful way to begin breaking old habits. But the most powerful level, the one that builds new futures, is level 4. Level 4 is the level of the better you. This is the most effective self-talk you can possibly use. This is the language of I am. Here, you are not just deciding to leave the negative behind, you are actively defining the positive you are becoming. You are handing your brain a finished, detailed blueprint of the new you. I am disciplined, organized, and in complete control of my time. I am a patient and loving parent. I am confident and calm when speaking in front of others. I am healthy, vibrant, and full of energy. This isn't about lying to yourself. You might not feel organized or energetic right now. That doesn't matter. You are giving your brain its new instructions. You are saying, this is the person I choose to be. This is our new program. Get to work. Level 4 self-talk builds new neural pathways. It literally rewires your brain for success. It builds the new furniture for your mental apartment. Finally, there is level 5, the level of universal affirmation. This is more spiritual in nature, often using phrases like, it is, to connect with a higher consciousness or a sense of oneness with the universe. For example, I am one with the universe, and it is one with me. While beautiful and meaningful for those on a spiritual path, drive. Helmstetter makes it clear that for practical, everyday change, our focus should be on mastering levels 3 and 4. They are the tools that will help you fix your habits, improve your relationships, and achieve your goals in the here and now. So, how do we begin to use this new language? How do we make it a habit? The book outlines several simple, practical techniques. The first is silent self-talk. This is about becoming aware of the constant, silent chatter in your mind and consciously changing its direction. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never get this done," you immediately stop and replace it with, "I am focused and productive. I handle every task with ease." It's a mental course correction you can do anytime, anywhere. It takes no extra time, only awareness. The second is self-speak. This is about being mindful of the words you say out loud, to yourself and to others. How often do we say things like, "Oh, I'm so clumsy," or "That's just my luck"? These words are programs. Winners speak a different language. They don't complain about problems, they talk about solutions. They don't focus on what's wrong, they focus on what's possible. Listen to what you say. Your words are creating your world. A third, and very powerful, technique is self-conversation. This is talking to yourself out loud, as if you were talking to your best friend or your own personal coach. It might feel strange at first, but it works because it engages more of your senses. The author suggests something he calls shower talk. When you get in the shower tomorrow morning, instead of letting your mind drift to your worries, greet yourself out loud. Say, "Good morning. You look great today. You are strong, you are capable, and you're going to have an incredible day." Then answer yourself back, "You're right. I feel fantastic. Let's go for it." Starting your day with a 2-minute pep talk can change everything. Finally, there is recorded self-talk. This is perhaps the easiest and most automatic way to reprogram your mind. It's based on a simple principle. We learned our first language by hearing it spoken around us, over and over again, mostly in the background. We can learn the new language of positive self-talk the exact same way. By listening to recordings of Level 4 self-talk phrases for just 15 minutes a day, while you're getting ready in the morning, driving, or exercising, you are giving your brain the repetition it needs to build new neural pathways. You don't even have to pay close attention. Your subconscious mind is always listening. Drive. Helmstetter himself used this method to lose over 50 pounds and keep it off for good. He simply listened to weight loss self-talk every morning while he was shaving, and his brain did the rest. But knowing all this is one thing. Doing it is another. And this brings us to the final critical challenge the book addresses, overcoming something called personal growth stasis, or PGS. Stasis is that state of being stuck. It's when you know what you should do, you're even excited to do it, but you just don't. It's the force that pulls you back to the old, comfortable furniture in your mental apartment. It's the ultimate enemy of growth. So how do you beat it? Drive. Helmstetter gives a simple 3-step launch plan. First, set a clear written goal to make positive self-talk a permanent part of your life. He says a goal that isn't written down has less than a 10% chance of happening. The moment you write it down, that number jumps to over 75%. Second, commit to listening to recorded self-talk for at least 15 minutes every single day. This is non-negotiable. This is what provides the automated repetition that will override the old programs and get you moving. It's the engine that will push you past the gravitational pull of your old habits. And third, make a written list of the old, negative self-talk programs you want to change. This creates focus and awareness. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. By writing them down, you are serving them an eviction notice. This is the path. It's not magic, and it's not a quick fix. It is a simple, proven method for taking conscious control of your own programming. It's about deciding, once and for all, that you will no longer be a passenger in that airplane with the faulty computer. You are going to be the pilot. You are going to choose the destination, and you are going to program the computer with directions that guarantee you arrive there, safely and successfully. It all begins by changing the words. Because when you change the words you say to yourself, you change the pictures in your mind. And when you change the pictures in your mind, you change your life. Commentary. As we wrap up our journey through what to say when you talk to yourself, I find myself struck by its profound and timeless simplicity. In a world filled with complex life hacks, productivity systems, and endless advice, drive. Helmstetter brings us back to the fundamental truth. The world you experience on the outside is a direct reflection of the conversation you have on the inside. This idea isn't just motivational fluff, it's rooted in the science of neuroplasticity, the understanding that our brains are not fixed, but can be rewired at any age. Every time you repeat a thought, you strengthen a neural connection, much like walking the same path in a forest over and over until a clear trail is formed. For decades, many of us have been unconsciously walking the paths of self-doubt, worry, and limitation. This book hands us a map and shows us how to consciously forge new paths of confidence, resilience, and achievement. What I find most powerful is how this book empowers the individual. It gently removes all excuses. It's no longer about your past, what others did or didn't do for you, or the circumstances you find yourself in. It places the keys to change directly in your hands. The responsibility is immense, but the freedom it offers is breathtaking. The realization that you can change your entire life by changing a few simple words you say to yourself is one of the most liberating ideas anyone can ever embrace. So, how can you start applying this today, right now, to feel a real difference? Here are 3 simple actions. First, for the next 24 hours, become a detective of your own thoughts. Just monitor them. Don't try to change them or judge them. Simply carry a small notebook or use the Notes app on your phone, and whenever you catch a strong internal comment, especially a negative one, write it down. I'm so tired. This is too hard. I'll never figure this out. Just by bringing awareness to these automatic programs, you begin to rob them of their power. Second, choose just one of those negative phrases you identified, and make a pact with yourself to replace it with a level 4 I am statement every single time it appears. If your go-to phrase is, I'm so stressed, immediately replace it with, I am calm, focused, and in control. It will feel awkward at first. Your old programming will fight back. But do it anyway. This is the first step in digging a new trail in the forest of your mind. And third, try the shower talk experiment tomorrow morning. Spend just 2 minutes speaking positive, powerful, level 4 truths to yourself out loud. Tell yourself what you want to believe about yourself. I am full of energy. I am a creative problem solver. I treat everyone I meet today with kindness and respect. Start your day by programming your own success before the world has a chance to program you with anything else. That was a summary of What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter. We've explored the core principles today, but a summary is like looking at a travel brochure. It shows you the beautiful pictures, but it can never replace the feeling of actually taking the journey yourself. The real transformation happens when you immerse yourself in the book, when a particular story resonates with you, or a simple phrase sparks a profound insight. This summary is your map, but the treasure is found by reading the book. If any part of our conversation today felt like it was speaking directly to you, I encourage you to pick up a copy. It's more than just a read. It's an investment in the most important relationship you'll ever have, the one you have with yourself. The link to the book is in the description below. Also, if you found this summary valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next journey into another life-changing book in the billionaire's bookshelf. Your support helps us continue to bring these powerful ideas to more people. Let's keep growing together.